Hi, wonderful friends. It's your friend Eleni. I'd like to talk about a topic that I've always wanted to really talk about. This channel is mostly about mental health, wellness, suicide prevention, and having joy and living a Christian life and hope for mental health. Keep going. But we also talk about healthy relationships. I've seen a lot of friends now, they're getting engaged. I'm really excited for them. And I've always wanted to make a video in case for any future times. Just to say I love and appreciate my friends. I'm really happy for you. I'm so happy to share joy in what you're doing in the season of life. And for the longest time, I remember my husband and I have been the only married people in our close circle of friends. But to be able to share this joy with our friends and talk about these things is amazing. But I also want you to know something. I've been really busy in school working on my bachelor's of social work. I apologize if the videos are not frequent. You can expect them every 3 months. But you can have weekly encouragement if you go on my Facebook blog. It's free for mental health, wellness, and hope. Eleni Weed Motivation and Mental Wellness on Facebook. And if you have any questions or comments, please email me. Leave a comment below. Alright, sorry this is a little disorganized, but just kick back, relax, enjoy, and let's chat a little bit. So there's Christian and non-Christian advice about healthy relationship and preparing for marriage. So it's important, no matter what stage of life you are in, that you are content in yourself, in your life. You have a fulfilling life and purpose no matter what. Whether you're single, even if you're single especially. I remember when I was single, a lot of times I felt bad if I didn't have a boyfriend. But honestly, I wish I knew, and that's okay, I take that time to figure out, that God is my everything. And I can have a meaningful, purposeful life, pursuing all these different solo adventures and hobbies and projects, activist projects to help people, and having time with God, seeking that time of God by myself. And just that, I really appreciated that time. And once I learned to be happy in myself and that God was my everything and my joy and happiness, no insecurity could take that away from me. It was easy to bounce back from insecurity. And I knew that I'm content and I'm enough, whether I'm single or not. Even if I didn't meet my husband, Ethan, I would always be enough. God would be more than enough, and my life would be enough. Focus on your values, and that you don't need to have a significant other to have meaning, right? As well, we're going to talk now just a little bit more about, like, if you're dating, wanting to maybe date, and things to prepare for marriage if you're engaged. So it's really important, again, to just don't rush. Enjoy your journey. Very, very, very important. And don't compare. Every person is different, right? What works for someone else might not work for you. Don't try to do something because other people seem to be doing it, or pressuring yourself, you know? As I said, your life is enough. You're more than enough. It's so important as well that, you don't need to meet goals. You don't, I'm only going to be happy now because I reached a milestone. No, you can be happy every day, right? One day at a time. You don't need to wait for, I'm going to be happy only if I have a big car, a big house, or 8 kids, or something like that. Like, you can find joy today. It's so important to remember that. There'll always be goals and waiting, but remember, you can have purpose today and know that's enough. And God is more than enough. If you believe in the Lord, Jesus is more than enough, and you're more than enough. So it's very important just to remember, when you're considering major life decisions, you talk to other people, you pray for wisdom and direction, you talk to people about it who are doing that thing. Like, for instance, I'm married, but if I want to have kids one day, I can ask people, like older people that I know who have a kid, like, hey, what is parenthood like? And I can make that decision for myself when it's the right time for my husband and I. And we're still dedicating our we're loving God. We're pursuing our careers and travel and projects to help people. And I want to be a therapist, so I'm waiting a year to be done school, and then we'll talk about kids maybe one day. But again, no one should be pressured, and it's no one's business. Don't let people pressure you to do anything. Fair enough. Again, in the hard stuff, it's important to run to God, or run to something that you know is your protective factor, is going to help you through a hard time, right? You can't rely on your significant other to make you happy. You also, again, you need to be happy of yourself. Know that God is enough and He's your joy. Humans are imperfect, so remember, know who to run to and what healthy things and ways to cope. As well, choosing love and to forgive the person anyways. So it's important. Forgiveness is not just for the other person, it's for you to move forward and to heal. And also, if you're Christian, you know that Jesus forgave us, and we must apply grace and love and compassion to others. we need to try and see for other people's perspective and forgive them and choose kindness, selflessness, putting other person before yourself, right? It's important to do activities together, or if you believe in Jesus, then we can like pray together, read the Bible together, point each other to the Lord, healthy ways to cope and deal with life. It's very important as well. You might be really tempted to do, again, what other people are doing, but it's really important to consider, if you're Christian especially, like we tend to wait until marriage to move in with someone, live together, or do sex just because it's the way that the Lord has, intended for us to be free and to do that with our husband or wife. And so it's very important. But also, it's just important that you don't have to like do things that other people are doing. But it's also important to remember as well, you're going to be talking about all kinds of factors if you're married. Like, it is wise to find someone of the same faith, just because, remember, right, in hard times, where you're going to run to, what will you teach your kids, or like, it's very important to consider different factors like that, right? It is advised, like, if you're a Christian, to be with someone who has the same beliefs. You don't have to agree on every little thing, but like the gospel is very important to know what Jesus did. And also, it's important to talk about all kinds of stuff, like what would you do, like budget, do you have any debts, how would you handle like finances, what kind of goals or dreams do you have, and can you work together to make them happen? It can work out, but don't put one person's dreams and goals in front of the others. That's not fair, right? You both have an equal relationship. It's so important. It's important to talk about past things you've dealt with, triggers, past relationships, or if you struggle with mental illness, pain, or different things, to see a therapist, to work together on these things, have compassion for each other, to have grace and understanding for each other, and to talk to other people, whether you pray together to God, talk to a therapist, family counselor, pastor, wise people who are older than you, like different things like that, right? It's very important to do that. And it's really important not to convert someone or date someone just to like, that's not fair to the person as well. God can do anything, and people can find God like even without you. Like, you don't need to push them. It's not really nice to just date someone to want to convert them. It's not nice at all. It's very important as well to remember your wedding. Planning a wedding is fun, but you don't have to have a big day. You can choose to do what you wish, right? If it's really stressful thinking of a wedding, you could always do like a little party or elope and then also have some family members there, or party with your family members after. If you're Christian, you want to keep it Christ-centered, like my husband and I did at the beach, like our marriage ceremony, and still kept God at center. And I wore rainbow. I didn't wear I didn't wear white dress, but rainbow dress. Because ever since that I accepted God into my life, he gave me hope and purpose. And I didn't feel so suicidal, hopeless anymore. And rainbow is my favorite color. Ever since God came into my life, I have lots of joy that can never be taken from me. And it's like, wow, all this rainbow, it's like, my life has opened up. It's amazing. Oh, really important. Please remember, just don't, if social media triggers you, stay off of it, right? It's good. You can go on Pinterest for different things, like, to plan like a wedding stuff and all that. Don't get caught up in the perfection that everything has to be this certain way. A bridal party or engagement party, all that. Do I need this or that? Do what works for you, remember. It's about enjoying the journey and the person you're going to be with the rest of your life, and if you're Christian, also to thank God at every stage. So it's like, you don't have to do this, all these different things and be perfect, right? Social media is not always real. You don't need staged pictures or proposal, getting down on one knee picture. You know what? I actually joined Facebook again, like a few months after I got engaged. I remember that beautiful time my husband proposed to me in a beautiful forest, and I shared that memory. I didn't need a picture of him like getting down on one knee. And we took pictures afterwards. But it's like, I remember that happy memory no matter what, and I didn't need to share it on social media. You don't have to document everything. I mean, you can if you want, but it's not necessary to put pressure on yourself, unnecessary stress. Live in the moment too, and it's okay to keep things just between yourselves, right? Keep talking about dreams, goals, finances, and all these different things, how you would navigate challenges together if you deal with struggles, addictions, or things that you need help with in the future. Have a game plan. Who would you talk to? Would you talk to a pastor, therapist, friends who are older than you, like trusted people to talk with? Go to a support recovery group for addictions, different things like that. It's so important. If you're Christian, go to church together, do community with each other, like with other Christians, right? Support each other. Serve and help others in the church and in other ways. There's a different goals for each like marriage that the Lord's ordained. It's amazing. There's different ways. No life is the same, but don't compare. You have your own beautiful life. Lastly, remember, no one is perfect. And yeah, it's cool to also ask like the parent for blessing, like to marry, right? Like my husband asked my dad. But again, it's like there's lots of different ways. Like it's really important to just be intentional, especially when you start dating someone. Like, could I see myself wanting to marry that person, or just enjoy the journey? Marriage doesn't have to be the first goal. Just enjoy a journey, but also have a purpose. Like, why am I dating this person? I love them, and just work at your own pace, right? As well, if there's red flags, again, if there's like trigger warning, if there's things of like abuse from the past, or things you're still dealing with, if you're dealing with mental health concerns, if you're dealing with all kinds of things, there are tricky topics. Very important, again, talk to a therapist, pastor, people you trust, and each other. God can also help you direction. There was a point where I was with someone, but they were being abusive, so God told me to end the relationship. And then I found my husband like a year later. It all can work out for good. Please do what you need to do to be safe, and talk to people during the hard times. God doesn't want you to stay in abusive relationships and things like that. It's very important to seek wise counsel and pray about these decisions, and help yourself. Make sure you're safe. Lastly, conflict resolution. Some things we learned. Try not to get your parents involved, but learn to resolve conflicts by yourselves. Don't berate or insult each other, or like call each other names, bring up past mistakes that you did, or violence, like things like that. Healthy problem solving, communication, always talk, right? Always talk about different things. Pray together. Or pause, go into different rooms. Wait till you calm down and talk, right? Just pause before you say something you regret. And just to know that, yeah, and what can I do next time to learn from this and grow? And if you deal with anxiety like me, sometimes it's like your brain saying like, you always did something wrong. We can be defensive and try to keep our guards off. Just remind yourself you're safe. Speak positive affirmations, words like what the Lord, like God is with me, I'm okay. Try to listen to what the person is saying. They might not be attacking you. They try to listen to what the person is saying and not what you think that the person is saying, if that makes sense. Because with anxiety, it's like, oh, that person's mad at you. They hate you. It's like, no, just try to also go to therapy, work things on yourself, right? To feel better, to learn to navigate life's difficulties, and to, it's important for everyone. Lastly, it's very important. Find ways, keep a date night, do things like learn each other's love language, right? And enjoy one day at a time. Yeah, I'm no expert. I'm just a friend. I want to be a therapist one day. But thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot that you support this channel to give hope and encouragement to people. And yeah, take what you want from this video. I've only been married almost 4 years, and I've known my husband for like 5 years, but you know what? No one's perfect. Absolutely not. Life's a beautiful journey, up and down together. I know that with God by my side, with me and my husband, he's going to teach us things, and we're going to enjoy life and get through the hard times with God and help people. So yeah, just thanks for watching. Bye.